If you seek a position of authority, it must be on the basis of what you are going to be able to do to serve your fellow man, not to serve yourself. And that is why, wapende wasipende, rafiki ama adui, ndugu ama dada, wewe kama unataka kuingiana na mambo ya ufisadi, yeah? Tutapigana na wewe. You can be my brother, you can be my sister, but you are an enemy of the Republic of Kenya, and we will fight with you. Sijui kama tunaelewana vile mimi nasema. Yes? Hiyo lazima tukate line. Na mtu ukisema unaomba kazi, iwe ni kazi ya kutumikia na kuhudumia wa Kenya, lakini sio kujihudumia wewe, bibi yako na watoto wako.
Welcome back. Now, what everybody missed in the president's remarks, what was swallowed and drowned by these controversies over the Twitter account, was the president bashing, taking a direct aim at his own cabinet secretaries. And that attack on his cabinet secretaries was very vicious, in my view, which is not like the president. And so we must ask ourselves, why? Okay? But let's start with what the president said. He said, and I quote, "I'm looking at my brother, Kiunjuri, who has just opened his notepad to write what I'm saying. But he was not interested in writing what these Kenyans are saying." End of quote. Of course, Bwana Kiunjuri is a CS Agriculture. And the president went on to say that Bwana Kiunjuri was not writing notes, since what Kenyans were saying was not related to agriculture, what Kenyans were saying in Namibia. But, and I quote what the president said, "He forgets that he is the minister of the Republic of Kenya, and whatever that is said, he should be interested to know what it is these people are telling us." And of course the crowd burst out laughing. And then the president aimed his guns at CS Peter Munya, and he said, "The same applies to you. We just look at people who talk here. And yet these are my cabinet secretaries. I have a long-serving PA here. Look at him. He's just looking at me while looking at his watch." And not that which has been said. It is only me who will remember what is said here. If I don't remember, then everything will be washed away. Yeah. And then the president took a swipe at the Foreign Affairs CS, Juma. And he said, "Monica, I won't say this again. We have agreed and must agree on a system that will help with the issuance of passports of Kenyans here." Yeah. Now, for starters, this is not President Uhuru Kenyatta's style. Yeah, he never attacks his people, in this way, in such a vicious manner, in public. Yes, before he has criticized his CSS, he has said that some of them are lazy, some of them will go, yeah, but he has never been specific. Here, his attack has mentioned people, directly. Now, politically, if everything had gone well, this would have been the perfect way of fully convincing Kenyans that we now have a president who doesn't care about who is close to him and who is not close to him. That what he wants is to fight corruption and deliver services to Kenyans. That would have come out very clearly. But unfortunately, that phrase, and my closest political allies, which was not meant to be there, spoiled everything. Now, of course, the president's handlers are very much on top of the situation, especially concerning this passport issue. In the recent Ethiopian Airlines crash, at least one person on that plane was coming back to Kenya to renew their passport. Kenyans in the diaspora have been having a major problem when it comes to renewing their passports. It involves heavy expense, huge expenses of traveling all the way back to Kenya. And sometimes somebody doesn't even have the resources to get back to Kenya. And of course, there are Kenyan embassies abroad, which are just a nightmare. Clearly, the staff there have gone abroad on holiday. And when you go there with your problems, you're just interrupting the holidays. That's really what it is. Kwanza, the Berlin embassy is a horror story. They don't even answer calls from Kenyans. Obviously, they're there on a very different mission from what taxpayers have paid them to be there to do. And of course, this whole issue is going to go overboard, especially with the Ethiopian Airlines crash incident. Because now somebody can stand and say, there's one of us here who would have been alive today if the Foreign Affairs Ministry had gotten their act together and done what they should do, enable gift services to Kenyans so that you can renew your passport wherever in the world you are. Why should that be so difficult? Now, of course, the good news is that the president issued a directive when he was in Namibia. And therefore, I'm sure now things will start happening. And the holiday in Berlin must end. Those poor excuses of Kenyans there, I suggest, should resign and go on holiday and let other Kenyans who are ready to serve their fellow Kenyans be posted to Berlin. Now, in my view, with this kind of strategy from the presidential team, it will be very difficult for those who are opposed to him. If indeed it is true the deputy president's camp is opposed, it will be very difficult for them to get any headway. It is clear that the president's people are on top of their game. The latest blunder over tweets notwithstanding, that was just unfortunate. It happens. Remember, this is a very high pressure game, where you have to think very quickly on your feet. And since you're human, once in a while, you're bound to make mistakes. And as long as you're able to bounce back very quickly from those mistakes, and even in some certain instances, turn a disaster into something that is an advantage to you, you use it to achieve another objective, then everything is good. Because currently, although the main message in Namibia was lost, something else was achieved. The country is continuously opposed, very much opposed, to the DP Ruto camp. Because word on the street is, hata hawa watu wa Ruto sasa wamezidi. Hata sasa wanahack account ya president ya Twitter. Yes, that's what people are saying. And of course, that will be something very difficult for the DP Ruto camp to recover from. If you have taken in part 1 of this video, you know, of course, that is not true. But then who cares about the truth? As I always tell you on this channel, what matters terribly, is perception. And in many instances, perception is not based on the facts. In my view, this game, if we can call it a game, is getting more and more interesting by the day. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.